Hey, man.
Well, how you doing?
Hello.
Mr. Doss,
How
how are you?
very good to meet
It's
you.
good to be with
Absolutely.
you. Thank
And this,
you.
of
How
course,
you doing,
is
Madam
Rob
Vice President
Taylor.
Rob
It's
Taylor?
Good to be
Good
with
to meet you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. I'm staring at history in front of me, and I'm really. This is a moment for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm
honored.
really. I'm really.
That means a lot to me. That
Yes,
means
indeed.
a lot to me.
Yes,
And I'm
indeed.
glad that we have some time to talk, because your paper and what you do in terms of the voice that it represents and a
Thank you.
trusted voice is so important. It's so important.
I agree with you, and I'm glad you recognize that.
I do.
And of course, I know that you've been working with NNPA
Yes.
across
many years.
Yes,
Yes.
a number of years.
Yes.
And we welcome that. And
Well,
so,
all in the spirit of Ida B. Wells, right?
absolutely.
There
There
we
you
are.
go.
As I said earlier, lead pipes were standard for
Mhm.
construction across the country, right? But then it became increasingly obvious that the water coming out of those lead pipes was toxic, which results in health impacts in terms of just absolute health well-being, but also learning impacts for children. And so then in communities where the resources were there, in homes where there was a home ownership or people had the resources, they could remove the lead pipes. But not in communities that didn't have the extra, right? Didn't have savings or didn't own their home and rented. So what you ended up seeing is that while the lead pipes affected everyone, not so equally. And part of the point that I'm making about is, so there is the piece about what we have done, the president and I, Joe Biden and I have done around the infrastructure money going to upgrade America's infrastructure, be it sidewalks or public transportation or dealing with lead pipes. So there is that piece of it, right? Which is about jobs, and it's about the work that will happen that actually creates an economy around the upgrades. But the other piece of the lead pipes issue is absolutely about public health. It's about the physical well-being, it's about the well-being of families, and we have to take that seriously. And as I said earlier, government has a few specific responsibilities, and one of them is to address the public health needs of the community. And so that's how I think about the lead pipe issue. What do we need to do to get the resources into the community to take those lead pipes out, knowing it will benefit our children, it will benefit families, and it will uplift communities.
Right. I know Mr. Doss has.
Yes, there was a very interesting conversation on the news with Charlemagne the God. And he talked about his conversations with, generally speaking, black men across the country, and the fact that there seems to be a growing apathy or lack of enthusiasm as it relates to supporting the Democratic Party and your ticket. How do you respond to that, or how would you challenge people about that very thought?
Well, so I not speaking to what he said, I didn't see the interview, but I'll say as a general matter, look, we are up for re-election. And any candidate up for election or re-election has to earn the votes. And I'm very, very clear about that, which is why I'm here in Pittsburgh, which is why I'm traveling around the country to make sure that people know what we have accomplished in response to what they asked us to do in 2020, because people turned out in record numbers. Young voters turned out in record numbers, and they said, fix the lead pipes. They said, look, in the black community, we are 60% more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes. Bring down the cost of insulin for our seniors, and we've now capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month.